Did you know the team to score last has won the Super Bowl each of the last 13 years? If you're looking to enhance your big game betting experience, visit wt.buzz/SB57props for WagerTalk's annual party prop sheet, Ralph Michaels' historical prop betting result and betting tips from your favorite handicapper. And if you're looking to add some wagering entertainment for your gathering, download and print out Super Bowl party prop sheet, which features a number of easy to answer, easy to follow questions to keep everyone engaged from the coin toss to the final whistle. Follow WagerTalk on Twitter during the game as we tweet out the results as they happen. Visit wt.buzz/SB57props for all the details.
Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome to WagerTalk TV and the Thursday edition of Stoppage Time. We're running a little bit behind, but we will catch up quickly. We got 4 big games going off in Europe across many of the leagues. We are going to do Arsenal and Brentford. We are going to go to France to do the AS Monaco PSG game. Then we'll head to Spain, where the King of Spain will tell you who he likes in the Villarreal Barcelona game. And then back to England as we take the Merseyside Derby, if I pronounce that correctly, Liverpool and Everton. Those teams, a couple surprises for those teams last week. With me from WagerTalk.com, it's Kevin Dolan and Bryan Power. And from Sports Memo, Pavlos Agretos. Bryan, I'm going to go to you in a shortened introduction. You and I, we're going to pat ourselves on the back. Marseille, we went the right way on Tuesday's show, taking Marseille to upset PSG, and they did it. A 2-1 victory in the Coupe de France to knock PSG out in the round of 16. That's 2 years in a row. PSG has gone out in the round of 16. They played well, but they didn't look like the PSG that we're used to seeing.
No, and we'll talk about them more in this show, obviously. Busy week for PSG. But yeah, it was a good show on Tuesday, 2-0 with those French Cup leads. And then I hit my, of course, 4% best bet in the FA Cup yesterday. So feeling good. Nice run in soccer. Nice run overall. It was a 4-2 Wednesday last night. It was so close to 6-0, but I'll take 4-2.
All right. Kev, let's see. We're going to be doing the first game together, so hopefully we don't go mano a mano on this one. But I want to let people know, Kev and I have a promo up for the Champions League. I'm going to get this one out of the way real quickly. You can get the rest of the whole UEFA pass, which is $149 a person. You can get 2 for the price of 1. So whether you go to Kevin's page or mine, it's up in the special section or in our deal section. You'll get every single play from Kevin and I that are released in Champions League, Europa League, and the Europa Conference League right through to the finals, with the Champions League final obviously being the final one in mid-June. So, Kev, that's a great deal. You have some plays loaded already, I believe, correct?
Yeah, we loaded a futures play over in Champions League, Carmine, and we loaded a play for Tuesday as well. And all good right now. 5% winner in the NBA on Tuesday, which we talked about in that show. So happy with that. Props to you. You beat me on the Salernitana Juve. I lost 1% on that. So well done there. 14-3 last 17, all sports runs. So absolutely nothing to complain about, and looking to continue that this week, I should say.
Awesome. Let's keep that run going. And Pavlos, quick word from you. I noticed, Pavlos, you're going a lot of sides and totals now. I love it because that's what clients want, sides and totals, and you're doing well with them as well, too.
Yeah, especially the sides have been really, really good. 15-1 in all side bets, graded 4% or higher since November 25th. It's been going really nice. 10-0 in last 10 spread bets. I got 4 pushes there as well. I had a couple of pushes last night, but it wasn't a losing day. I gave out a free play as well. Both teams scoring over 2.5 goals in the Dortmund match. So it was just not a losing day. So I'm more than happy. I do have some plays loaded at my page. A total for today and a side bet, a 4% side bet for tomorrow. And I'm super excited to talk some soccer with you guys because there's some really exciting matches on the weekend.
All right. Football it is, boys. Let's talk about football. First game on the card. This one goes on Saturday in the Premier League. Arsenal minus 245. The draw is plus 384. And Brentford plus 660. Juicy odds for a team that is on a 9-game Premier League unbeaten run at 5 wins and 4 draws. Kev, I'm going to look at this game with a couple quick talking points. I'm going to throw it over to you for your thoughts. I'm taking a different approach with this one. listen, Arsenal are obviously top of the league right now. And I feel like that game against Everton, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Frank Lampard gets fired. Dyche comes in. He had that Everton team playing a motivated game. But it's not as if Arsenal played a bad game. 70% possession, 15 attempts on goal. I think 3 actual shots on goal. They played a very good game, but it was one of those ones where it was we talk about those managerial changes, and sometimes we see an uptick in the way a team plays, and Everton were able to manage that. I think this is going to be a little different. I think we're getting a better price on Arsenal only because of the fact that Brentford are on a very good run. As I mentioned, 5 wins, 4 draws in their last 9 Premier League matches. There's a prop out there. It is called the halftime full-time prop. And while Arsenal's game line is minus 245, and my juice tolerance cannot make me play a game like that, I will take the halftime full-time price on Arsenal. It is plus 110. And I think Arsenal are going to come out of the gates on the front foot from that opening whistle and control this game and win this game. I think they'll have the lead at halftime and go on to win this game. So plus 110 on the Gunners for me. Kev, where are you going here?
You know, I first looked at this line, Carmine, and automatically, although in fairness, every week, automatically, my first instinct is to look to back Brentford. They've been an ATM machine for me this season, easily my favourite EPL team when I'm walking to the window. I was on them again last week against Southampton, priced up as half a goal favourites. They dominate, win 3-0. I get the feeling kind of, similar to Fulham, perhaps Newcastle as well, that the books have been awfully slow to catch up to how good this Brentford team are. But the reason that I agree with you is because Arsenal's metrics have been unbelievable inside the Emirates this year. Undefeated on the season, 2.78 points per game banked this year at home as well. No one even comes close to that number. 19.8 shots per game offensively on average at home this year. Again, number 1 in the league. They're allowing the fewest counter-attacking goals in the league as well at home. And only Manchester City hold a very, very slight advantage over them in expected goals and expected goals against this season. So for as much money as Brentford have made me over the course of this year, most of that's come at home for them, in fairness. Brentford have the 5th best home record in the league. That hasn't transitioned to on the road. They're all the way down in 10th. They've generated just 2 wins on the road all season. Their expected goal differential dips by over half a goal less on the road this year as well. So, at minus 1.5, which is where this line opened up at, this game would likely be a pass for me. But, since the opener, it's been cut into minus 1.25 right now. And I'm interested in that number and back in Arsenal. Gets us the insurance of a half loss here if Arsenal can only win by a single goal. But, Arsenal's home record, as we said, they beat Manchester United convincingly. Never mind the box score, never mind the final score. They dominated that game. They should have won by at least 2 goals. They drew against Newcastle, blew out West Ham, blew out Forest, beat Liverpool. So I believe we see a return to form for Arsenal here on Saturday. And at minus 1.25, I like the value in them to win and cover at home this weekend as well.
Love it, Kevin. We are on the same side. In theory, we're on the same side. We'll want that lead at halftime and then just build on it as that game progresses and get us both the win. So we are not mano-a-mano on this one. But we'll see whether Pavlos and Bryan are mano-a-mano on the next one. We are heading to France for this next one. AS Monaco and PSG. Monaco plus 210 at home. The draw is plus 275. PSG plus 120. You don't normally see PSG in a League One game where they are plus money. But we mentioned on Tuesday's show, and Bryan, I'm going to go to you on this one, is the fact that Mbappe is out. Messi and Neymar played in that Coupe de France, but they have a game on Tuesday, leg 1 of Champions League against Bayern Munich, a big game, an 8-point lead already in the league. So is this another one where they rest these guys in advance? We've seen teams rest players in advance of their Champions League games. Is this a game where we see them rested, or is this just push the button on PSG and take them no matter what, Bryan?
Well, look, obviously it's a terrible spot for PSG. Anyone can figure that out. They come off the loss yesterday, and then, as you mentioned, Carm, they've got Champions League on deck against Bayern. But it's not like the market is unaware of that. As you just pointed out, very rare to see that plus next to their price in a league match. And, looking at the WagerTalk odds screen, the price has definitely moved. And that actually gives me some pause on fading them here. No matter the sport, I'm not too keen on fading top tier sides, no matter the situation, when it actually looks like the market is undervaluing them. And something that stuck out to me when breaking this down, Monaco's bottom 5 in the league in expected goals allowed at home. The only sides below them in that regard, all bottom of the table, all bottom 6 teams. So as I mentioned on Tuesday's show, you can almost always count on PSG to score. They've scored in 26 of 28 competitive matches this season. They're the highest scoring team in the league, virtually all situations. So if Monaco is to take advantage of this spot, guys, and win, it's going to take some goals to do so. No doubt about that. Lucky for them, or, just maybe it's just skill. Monaco, they've got the second most goals scored in the league this season with 48. PSG's at 54. And since the World Cup break, guys, Monaco has scored in every match. They put multiple goals on the board 6 different times. The only 2 times all season in competitive play they failed to score were it was in Europa League action. So I'm on the over here. Over 3. If you're afraid of pushing on that number, I have seen shops like FanDuel have it juiced up 2.5. It's around minus 150 if that's in your tolerance. But I do like the over here at 3. Carmine.
All right, that's Brian Power of WagerTalk.com. Pavlos, he mentioned the goals. Ben Yedder's having a good season, 12 goals scored. They have won their last 2 league matches at home against PSG, but can they make it 3 in a row? You have to figure they've scored 3 in both of those, 3-2 a couple years back, and then last season a 3-0 win over PSG. You got to figure they need to find the back of the net at least a couple times to beat PSG in this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is a very tricky match. As you guys said, PSG have a match against Bayern Munich on Tuesday, while Monaco, they also have a Europa League match, but that's on Thursday, and they're against a theoretically easier side, which is Bayer Leverkusen. So starting with that, I'm just going to say that PSG, they kind of struggled after the World Cup break, and that's very natural because they had a lot of players play in the World Cup. They played over a month in different situations. So it's and now without Mbappe, they're struggling. They just lost, as you guys said, to Marseille. They struggled to beat Toulouse in their previous match. They even struggled to beat Montpellier. Of course, they had a couple of disallowed goals, a missed penalty kick. So all things considered, I don't think this is a very good period for PSG. However, I'm going to take an alternative approach here. I'm going to take the first half Monaco on the pick 'em line at plus 100, even money. Monaco, they, after the break, they have 5 wins and 3 draws in first halves, and three wins and 1 draw at home. PSG, after the break, in first halves on the road, they have 1 win, 5 draws, and 1 loss. They're really struggling without Mbappe, and he's going to be absent. Now, they do get some offensive punch from guys like Sergio Ramos, who scored the goal against Marseille and had a couple of good looks, but he was also the guy that considered a penalty kick. So, all things considered, I think this is going to be a very cagey first match. I see Monaco not losing because they've only lost just 2 first halves at home. They have 3 wins, 5 draws, and 2 losses, while all season PSG, these are 2 very, very high-scoring sides, especially in first halves. Monaco at home and PSG on the road. There might be some goals in the first half, but I just don't see Monaco losing. I think they're going to take a very safe approach. I think they can cut the passing lanes. With PSG without Mbappe is like a downgrade. Okay, they do have Neymar and Neymar and Messi and all kinds of players, but they seem to be struggling right now. And I think that Monaco, they can at least hold out for the first half. So I like Monaco in the first half, pick 'em line, even money.
All right, Pavlos Lagaretos, a sportsman, with his thoughts on the Monaco PSG game. We are going to head over to Spain for the next one, Villarreal and Barcelona. The numbers on this one, Villarreal plus 307. The draw's 293. Barcelona minus 120. We're going to go to the King of Spain first for his thoughts. Kev, let us know where you're going with this one. And the league leaders, Barcelona, laying just a little vig on the road.
I'm going to go with the outright draw on this one, Carmine. Almost 3-1 right now, between Barcelona and Villarreal. Villarreal have been really effective at home this season. They beat Real Madrid here last month. They've won 3 of the last 4 league games in this venue as well. And even with that kind of shock loss against Rayo Vallecano last week, Villarreal had the better of it for the most part. 25% more dangerous attacks in that game. they held a 1.20 to 0.83 XG advantage also. So as good as Barcelona have been this season, I think Villarreal are more than capable of getting a result in this one. And the other fact ahead of this one, obviously, is that Barcelona have an absolutely mammoth Leg 1 clash on deck next week against Man United over in the Europa League. That is the pick of the draw, no doubt. While Villarreal gets a pass in the next round as group winners over in the Europa Conference League. So perhaps more weighing on the minds of Barcelona ahead of this one, especially considering how poor they looked in the Champions League. Obviously, they crashed out in the Europa League early last year as big favourites. So, you know, obviously Barcelona want to win this game. That's a given. But, you know, they have that cushion at the top of the table right now in La Liga. They're going to be distracted, obviously, by United's arrival next week too. And, like I said, they were the heavy favourites last year. They crashed out Eintracht Frankfurt. You know, this is a team that demands European success. So I think that's going to take precedence here. And I like Villarreal to kind of sneak in the back door, get a result in this one, get the draw. So give me the big price in this one. Plus 293 right now. I really like the value on that.
All right. Kevin Dolan with his thoughts on Barcelona, Villarreal. Pavlos, right back to you on this one. Are we leaning on a bit of an upset here, or are we a straightforward Barcelona win here?
Well, it could be, but this Villarreal side has been kind of struggling lately. However, most of their struggles seem to be on the road. And of course, they lost to Elche by 3-1. I gave out Elche plus, it was double chance, I believe, as a free play earlier in that week. But at home, I'm going to take a first half line here because there are some stats that I find very, very interesting. Now, Villarreal, mediocre at best in first halves at home with 2 wins, 4 draws and 3 losses, scoring just 4 goals and conceding 4 in the process. So that's 8 first half goals in 9 first halves at home for Villarreal. That's an average of fewer than 1 goal per match. And if you look at Barcelona on the road in first halves, they have 3 wins, 5 draws and 2 losses, scored 5, conceded 4. So 9 goals, total goals in 10 away first halves for Barcelona. If you look closely after the winter break, Villarreal are 3-0 to the under 1 first half goal, and Barcelona are 2-0-2. That's 2 wins, 0 losses, and 2 pushes to the first half under one goal. So I expect a very cagey match here. I consider taking Villarreal plus a quarter goal, but I thought that was minus 130 or something. I didn't like the price. I saw the under one goal in the first half at plus 120, and I think that's a fair way, a very safe way to play this. Of course, Barcelona, they did beat Villarreal by 3-0 earlier in the season, but they scored 3 first half goals as well. But take that result with a grain of salt because it was a reverse fixture. Barcelona were playing at home, Villarreal were playing on the road, where they kind of struggle. Villarreal were also missing key players in all lines, including Gerard Moreno, who is their talismanic striker. So I think this is going to be a very tight match with very few goals in the first half. The under 1 goal in the first half offers a bit of safety. If there's exactly 1 goal in the first half, this bet is a push. I believe it's going to be not easily. I believe there's a good chance there's going to be a goalless draw in the first half. So I like the first half under 1 goal at plus 120.
All right, Pavlos, so Pavlos, I'm going to go right back to you just for a quick follow-up question, but obviously Barcelona not taking part in the knockout stages of Champions League this year after finishing 3rd, but they are in the first round on Wednesday, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday, I think it is, Thursday it is, of the Europa League. Do they sit any players, or does that having 3 to 4 days off, is that good enough and we see their best starting lineup here, you think?
I think they should sit some players because, Manchester United are really, really good lately, and I don't think they should be underestimated. I'm not so sure what happens in Xavi's mind, but Barcelona, they have a theoretically stacked roster. I believe that they could make 2-3 changes in the roster, in the lineup, maybe keep some players fresh. I do think if there's an underlying question, I do think that Lewandowski is going to start.
All right, cool. Good to know. It's always important for those prop bets, if we're taking them, to have an idea of what the mindset of the manager of that team is and whether he wants to rest players or not. Because I've talked about on previous shows, before you make that bet, you might want to find out by following team sites, social media, to see if any players are likely to be rested in some of these games, especially if they're traveling as Barcelona is doing in this one. All right, let's go to the final game. This one goes on Monday. It is another Premier League game. Liverpool and Everton. Excuse me. Liverpool minus 190. The draw is plus 339. Everton plus 509 in this one. Brian and I will look at this one. Brian, before we go to you, a few talking points. Listen, we saw immediate returns from Dyche and Everton in that game against Arsenal last week, and Liverpool were opened up. They were exposed by Wolverhampton regularly. Van Dijk still remains out. He will not be available for this game. He's probably at least a week away from getting some time on that field. He's not ready to play 90 yet. I'm looking at a different market here, and this is one that you normally play, and we might be going mano a mano on this one. I'm taking the both teams to score no in this one. It is pretty much 110 both ways. I'm taking the no in this one. I think we know what we're going to get from Everton here. They're going to play the same tight defensive game. They were able to keep Arsenal off the score sheet, and only Newcastle have done that this year in a scoreless draw. Arsenal scored in every other game they've played thus far this year, all other 18 games. For the 10 matches between Liverpool, 4 matches this year at home where one of the teams has registered a clean sheet. But when you look at these two teams and playing each other, 4 of the last 5 at Anfield, there has been a clean sheet in them. 7 of the last 10 overall between these two teams, there has been a clean sheet in the game. So I'm going with both teams to score no, minus 110, and hoping that this is a defensive and cagey affair. Brian, give me your thoughts.
Well, I think we're going the opposite side on this one. As a matter of fact, I know we are. So first, let's back up. Last week, perhaps you remember on the show, I said it was the time to buy low on Liverpool. Well, that was a lie. They obviously lose 3-0, an ugly loss. And then last week was the right time to buy low on Everton. The old new manager bounce. They defeat Arsenal 1-0 in the always tricky, as you say, Carm, early Saturday time slot. And digging into those respective results, Liverpool, they lost the XG battle 2.6 to 1.3. Everton wins the XG battle 2.09 to 0.69. So nothing phony about the results in that regard, at least going by XG. Although I will point out, Everton did get dominated in terms of possession. Liverpool, they had a lot more shots on goal than Wolves. So you can make a case in those regards. Maybe the results were a tad bit misleading. Now, I've heard a lot of chatter this week, and even before the match with Arsenal, that Everton may be a good bet to avoid relegation. Right now, I say not so fast. They're still second worst in expected points, second worst in expected goal difference in the league. Only Bournemouth is worse off in both of those categories. But you also have to wonder, on the flip side, is Liverpool just a mid-table side? A lot of metrics suggest they are. So I'm not looking to play either side here. I am on the both teams to score prop, but I am taking yes, Carm. The reverse, to your point, back in September was a goalless draw. But I see this being a lot different. Liverpool, I don't think they get blanked in back-to-back matches. Interestingly enough, despite the mid-table metrics, they are third in expected goals in the league, only behind Arsenal and Man City. And Everton, they've got a little momentum. Obviously, I don't like that word, but I'll use it here anyway, off the new manager bounce. So both sides, bottom 4 in the Premier League in expected goals allowed. So let's roll with it. I think both get on the score sheet. One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong. I guess that's the beauty of this thing.
My thought, yes, one of us will be right. My thoughts and prayers go out to you, Brian, on this one. One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong. That is no truer statement has been made on this show. All right, guys, we are going to go into our recap of the plays. And Kev, I'm going to go to you first. Let us know what you have up at WagerTalk, and we'll see your leans up on the screen.
Well, that UEFA combo package that you mentioned is up right now, Carm, to get me and you all the way through June and across 3 competitions in Europe for 149. So great deal there. Apart from that, we got code Irish39 is still active until this Monday. Knocks $20 off a regular 3-day all access pass. And if you jumped on with me this time last week, you're up almost 30 units of profit across those 3 days. So looking for more of the same this weekend as well.
All right, good to hear, and best of luck to you moving forward. Again, anyone grab that buy one get one package for Kevin and I. You can go to my page or his. It's the UEFA Pass package, and you'll get every single play from the three competitions: the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Europa Conference League, right through to the finals for each one of those, and all of our plays, including futures. And if you followed myself and Kevin, you'll know 2 years ago we gave our clients Chelsea 20 to 1 to win the Champions League, and then last year Real Madrid 18 to 1 and 33 to 1 after they lost the first game to win the Champions League title, and they did that as well too. So we'll have some future bets loaded in these packages. Pablo, so I'm going to go to you next. What do you have up at Sports Memo? And we'll have a look at your leans.
Yeah, we have a similar deal with Nick Borman and I. You can get all our plays from the Champions League, Europa Conference League, all the way to the finals for a similar price, $149. Buy one, you get two. Now, I do have a 3% Portuguese total for tonight and a 4% side bet for Friday. 15-1 and 4 pushes in side bets graded 4% or higher since November 25th, plus 56.7 units. 10-0 and 4, with those 4 being pushes in last 14 spread bets graded 4% or higher. So it's been going really nice with these side bets. Go and get one for Friday. And of course, my total for tonight.
All right, good to hear, and wish you all the best, Pablos, on those plays. Brian, we'll go to you next. What do you have up at Wager Talk? And we'll have a look at your leans.
Yeah, been a great 10-day stretch, up about 30 units or so. I mentioned the 4-2 Wednesday at the top. College hoops, big card tonight. 5-pack currently locked and loaded. Of course, we've got the 5% play on the Super Bowl that has been up there for quite a bit, quite some time. 8-1 run with all 5% plays going back to late December. So feeling good about the Super Bowl, feeling good about tonight. Again, all 5 of those plays that I have loaded on the College Hoops card are 4% best bets. And we'll have a big weekend, of course, here in soccer, where I am on now a 13-5 run after that 4% best bet on Fulham. So looking forward to a big weekend and talking to you guys again on Tuesday.
All right, keep that run going. Soccer card for the weekend. Nothing in today's action, of course, but we'll have some Friday, Saturday, and Sunday plays loaded shortly. 3 NHL plays up for tonight. And also tune into Puck Time at the top of the hour as we'll look at 4 games for tonight. A Super Bowl package, a teaser play, 18-1 and 1, the last 20 teaser plays at Wager Talk. I've got obviously one up for the weekend, along with 8 prop bets and a few more prop bets coming. You can use code SB50 to get 50% off that Super Bowl package as well, too. Guys, we're going to be back on Tuesday, where we're going to start looking at some Champions League and Europa League games. Those competitions are finally back, and I'm pretty happy to hear it. Next Tuesday, 10 a.m. here on Stoppage Time, Wager Talk TV. And as always, guys, for myself, Kevin Dolan, Brian Power, and Pavlos Zacaretos, good luck with your wagers, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Did you know the team to score last has won the Super Bowl each of the last 13 years? If you're looking to enhance your big game betting experience, visit wt.buzz/SB57props for Wager Talk's annual party prop sheet, Ralph Michaels' historical prop betting result and betting tips from your favorite handicapper. And if you're looking to add some wagering entertainment for your gathering, download and print out Super Bowl